Hi, I'm Mayor Christina Shea, and in this edition of the Mayor's Corner, we'll be focusing on the important topic of emergency management. September is Emergency Preparedness Month. It's crucial that residents take steps for themselves and their families so that they are ready should a disaster strike. You'll find helpful information on how to prepare, including what items you should include in a go bag at cityofirvine.org/prepare. Also be sure to sign up for emergency alerts at alertoc.org. While personal preparedness is key, it's also of vital importance that the City of Irvine has plans in place to come to the aid of our residents in the event of a natural or man-made disaster. Please take a moment to learn how the city is doing everything possible to expect the unexpected in this presentation by the city's Emergency Management Administrator, Bobby Simmons.
It's certainly my pleasure this evening to really share a comprehensive overview of the city's emergency management and preparedness efforts. I think it's really important to begin by emphasizing the importance of collaboration in emergency management and to highlight the partnerships that we have both internally here within the city as well as with our external response partners. The National Weather Service Storm Ready recognition, as well as the recent National CERT Award, are two great examples of how collaboration has been a key to our preparedness efforts within the city and a success in emergency management. Regarding CERT, our alumni numbers continue to grow, and to date, we've graduated over 2,100 members of our community through this program. The program now delivers annually 8 courses, including 4 in English to adult learners, 2 in Mandarin Chinese, 1 Teen CERT, and 1 City of Irvine Employee CERT program. This slide really brings illustration to the term that we oftentimes use to describe CERT as force multipliers. Essentially, what is meant by this is having individuals spread throughout the community with basic skill sets to render aid to others when first responders are overwhelmed and unavailable. They are an extension of the city that can provide interim relief to those in need and essentially really kind of close the gap between the time a disaster occurs and the time first response personnel can get there. As you know, our IDEC team that was recognized at just the last city council meeting is another critical asset to emergency response. A few of IDEC's communication projects taking place this year include the solar communications vehicle, a retrofit of their communications van, and the amateur radio mesh network. All of these support redundancy in disaster communications for public safety. Additionally, over the past weekend, IDEC participated in Field Day, which is a national amateur radio exercise. In regards to our emergency plans, there are currently 3 large planning projects underway. The first is an update to the city's emergency operations plan. And essentially this plan is the umbrella plan under which all other plans and processes support. This plan discusses processes, structure, and assignment of roles and responsibilities during a disaster. The local hazard mitigation plan is a plan for natural hazard risk identification and reduction. The plan not only identifies and rates all of the city's hazards, but also identifies what actions are necessary in order to mitigate these or lessen the impact on the community. A competitive FEMA grant was awarded to public safety for updating this plan. Both the emergency operations plan as well as the hazard mitigation plan will be brought to City Council in the near future next year. Lastly, a citywide evacuation working group has been convened to refine and document how evacuations are implemented within the city. This plan really is an all hazards approach to evacuation planning with a specific emphasis on our current greatest threat, which is that of a wildfire evacuation along our wildland urban interface communities. Exercising our plans and processes has been another huge area of focus for emergency management over the past 2 years. A few examples of these exercises include the Turtle Rock evacuation exercise, which really focused on response coordination between the Irvine Police Department and the Orange County Fire Authority, as well as how we come together and disseminate timely and accurate public information. The multi-city points of dispensing exercise, this focused on mass distribution of prophylaxis during a public health outbreak or emergency. This was a multi-jurisdictional, full-scale exercise which took place at the Great Park last October. The Orange Crush exercise, which tested the capability of our Emergency Operations Center to respond to a 7.8 magnitude earthquake rupturing along the San Andreas Fault. And lastly, the Civic Center no-notice exercise, which involved the evacuation of the entire Civic Center, the activation of the EOC, and a simulated deployment of MobileCom. Public alert and warning has become one of the most important topics in emergency management today. Public safety has made this capability a priority by implementing best practices learned from real-world events. And today we have a range of tools available in our alert and warning toolbox. A few of these include Alert OC. This is a countywide mass notification system that allows public safety to send messages to landline and cell phones during an emergency. It's a great system. However, there are some limitations in terms of pushing messages to cell phones. And that limitation really lies in the fact that it requires a user opt-in registration. And our city is really no different than any other city in Orange County in that as much as we try to do outreach and get the word out to go in and sign up for alerts, it's difficult to push, to really push the needle and get the public that are signing up. It is because of this gap that the city has acquired the capability of sending wireless emergency alerts through an agreement with FEMA. Wireless emergency alerts, or WIA messages, resemble that of Amber Alerts or flash flood warnings that we all typically receive on our cell phones from time to time. This is a geo-targeted based system, which means that these messages will alert most wireless devices within a selected area at the time the message is sent. WIA is the greatest tool in emergency management today, and we're the 4th city in Orange County to gain independent access to this system. Another tool acquired through a partnership with the PIO office and IT is an alternate city website designed specifically for disasters. This site, which can be activated at the flip of a switch, will provide an effective way to share emergency updates with the community as the situation unfolds while accommodating anticipated spikes in website traffic. And lastly, through all of these messaging platforms, we will be directing the public to our public safety social media pages as the single official voice of our response efforts. Another unique capability that we have is to send alerts to city staff on their personal cell phones. This is really important for 2 primary reasons. The first is to notify them of a current hazard or threat and the need to take a protective action, whether that's to evacuate a city facility, to stay away, to shelter in place, etc. The second reason why this is important is to activate city staff as disaster service workers immediately following a major emergency. This notification system was tested for the first time during the Civic Center no-notice exercise. As you know, our EOC, MobileCom, and mobile communications vehicles are tremendous assets to emergency response within our city. These operational assets are managed by the technical reserve officers, which is a program that was established when these vehicles were originally acquired in order to ensure that they maintain and effectively stay operational and keep up with rapidly changing technology. In response to the growing threat of wildfire along our wildland-urban interface communities, the city has implemented several mitigation and preparedness programs. Last fall, Public Safety partnered with the Orange County Fire Authority to kick off our first wildfire readiness campaign, which was geared towards educating the public about the risk of wildfire and to promote the national Ready, Set, Go mantra. This campaign will start up again as we move closer into our red flag warning season this fall. Additionally, the new OCFA hand crew and the GOAT fuel abatement programs will significantly help our efforts to manage high-risk and vegetation-dense areas. In response to the last two wildfire seasons, Southern California Edison has implemented the Public Safety Power Shutoff Program, otherwise known as PSPS, which preemptively shuts off power to high-risk circuits in order to mitigate wildfire danger. Emergency management has worked with SCE on identifying the impacted areas of these circuits and has identified our city's critical infrastructure within these areas. Additionally, key city staff received notification from SCE when they anticipate a PSPS going into effect. As we move forward, emergency management is excited about the implementation of a few programs that will be funded as a part of the OCFA settlement agreement, including a drone program for Firewatch, the hiring of a full-time CERT coordinator, and a new off-site state-of-the-art EOC facility. Additionally, we continue to study and implement best practices from recent disasters and are closely following new emergency management legislation being proposed at the state level. Lastly, we are exploring emerging technology such as the commercially available options for earthquake early warning. In closing, I want to reaffirm how committed public safety is. Public safety and all of our city partners are to emergency preparedness as we continue to build upon this already highly resilient community.